Hey all, Amanda here with a breakdown of one of my favorite movies from my favorite series, Saw. Here with a little background and explanation of the movie, followed by a few questions for you to think about. This will be one in the start of at least 7 Saw breakdowns. I hope you enjoy them and can find something to take away from each of them. The background. Saw was released in 2004 and was based on a story written by Leigh Whannell and James Wan. The screenplay for the film was written by Leigh Whannell, where he also debuted his acting skills on screen as Adam. It was directed by James Wan and was his feature film directorial debut. The screenplay was written in 2001, but after failed attempts to get the script produced in Wan and Whannell's home country of Australia, they were urged to travel to Los Angeles. In order to help attract producers, they shot a low-budget short film of the same name from a scene from the script. This proved successful in 2003, as producers from Evolution Entertainment were immediately attached and formed a horror genre production label, Twisted Pictures. The film was given a small budget and shot for 18 days. Saw was first screened on January 19, 2004. Lionsgate picked up the rights and released the film in the United States and Canada on October 29, 2004. The reviews were mixed. Saw performed very well at the box office, grossing more than $100 million worldwide and becoming, at the time, one of the most profitable horror movies since 1996's Scream. The success of the film prompted a green light of a sequel soon after Saw's opening weekend, which was released the following October. The movie. Adam awakens in a bathtub in a large dilapidated bathroom, and his foot catches and removes its plug. As the water drains down, a glowing blue object can be briefly seen to be washed down the drain. As he falls out of the tub, he finds himself chained at the ankle to a pipe. Across from him, Dr. Lawrence Gordon is similarly shackled, and between them is a corpse holding a revolver and a microcassette recorder. Each man finds a tape in their respective pockets, and Adam is able to retrieve the recorder. Adam plays his tape, and it says, "Rise and shine, Adam. You're probably wondering where you are. I'll tell you where you might be. You might be in the room that you die in. Up until now, you simply sat in the shadows, watching others live out their lives. But what do voyeurs see when they look in the mirror? Now, I see you, as a strange mix of someone angry, yet apathetic, but mostly just pathetic. So are you gonna watch yourself die today, Adam, or do something about it?" Adam throws the recorder to Dr. Gordon, and he plays his tape. It says, "Dr. Gordon, this is your wake-up call. Every day of your working life, you have given people the news that they are going to die soon. Now, you will be the cause of death. Your aim in this game is to kill Adam. You have until 6 on the clock to do it. There's a man in the room with you. When there's that much poison in your blood, the only thing left to do is shoot yourself. There are ways to win this hidden all around you. Just remember, X marks the spot for the treasure. If you do not kill Adam by 6, then Allison and Diana will die, Dr. Gordon, and I'll leave you in this room to rot. Let the game begin. Follow your heart." After catching the whispered message to follow your heart, Dr. Gordon spots a heart drawn on the toilet beside Adam. Adam finds a bag containing 2 hacksaws inside the toilet tank. They attempt to cut through the chains, but Adam's saw breaks, and he throws it at the mirror in frustration. Dr. Gordon realizes that the hacksaws weren't meant for the chains, but for their feet, and identifies their captor as the Jigsaw Killer. Dr. Gordon admits that he knows this because he was a suspect 5 months before. In a flashback, we meet the 3 detectives investigating the case. They are Detective David Tapp, Detective Stephen Singh, and Detective Allison Carey. We see a flashback to the first test subject, Paul Leahy. When Paul wakes up, he finds himself almost entirely naked in a fenced-in area within a basement and finds a tape. The tape plays, "Hello, Paul. You are a perfectly healthy, sane, and middle-class man. Yet last month you ran a straight razor across your wrist. Did you cut yourself because you truly wanted to die, or did you just want some attention? Tonight, you'll show me." The irony is that if you want to die, you just have to stay where you are, but if you want to live, you'll have to cut yourself again and again. Find the path through the razor wire to the door, but hurry. At 3 o'clock that door will lock, and then this room becomes your tomb. How much blood will you shed to stay alive, Paul? The area was filled with countless tightened skeins of razor wire. Ridden by fear and desperate to save his life, Paul tried to find a way through the area, but failed as the wire cut open his flesh, eventually resulting in his death due to massive loss of blood, mainly from his femoral artery. In another flashback, we see a second test subject, Mark Wilson. When Mark wakes up, he finds himself completely naked in a dark room only lit by a single candle. His tape says, "Hello, Mark. If you are so sick, then why do I have so many photos of you up and about? Let's put your so-called illness to the test. Right now, there's a slow-acting poison in your veins. The antidote is inside the safe. The combination to the safe is written on the wall. Hurry up and program it in, but watch your step. By the way, that's a flammable substance smeared onto your body, so I would be careful with that candle if I were you, or all the people you've burned with your act might just have their revenge." The antidote was in a safe right before him. However, in order to open it, he had to find a combination amongst hundreds of numbers written all over the walls. Due to the darkness, he had to take the candle with him and was forced to walk the walls, while the entire floor of the room was covered in glass shards. Additionally, he had a flammable substance smeared on his body. Mark tried to find the combination in time before the poison could kill him, but accidentally ignited the substance, causing him to burn alive. When the leading investigator on the Jigsaw case examined the crime scene, Detective Carey finds a peephole and comments that Jigsaw must like to watch. Carey also discovers a pen light, which tracks back to Dr. Gordon. Back in the bathroom, Dr. Gordon comments that they are not dealing with a murderer, as Jigsaw never directly kills his victim, nor places them in situations where death is unavoidable. Flashbacks show that while Dr. Gordon was discussing the terminal brain cancer of a patient, identified as John, by an orderly known as Zepp, as he was with his medical students, he was approached by Detectives Tapp and Singh. Dr. Gordon's alibi about having an affair with one of his med students clears him, and he reluctantly agrees to view the testimony of the only known survivor, a highly traumatized heroin addict named Amanda Young. In a flashback, we see Amanda wake up and finds herself trapped to a chair and has a metallic device placed over her head. She immediately panics and tries to free herself from the chair, but stops when the TV next to her turns on. The television shows a puppet, and the puppet says, "Hello, Amanda. You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game. Here's what happens if you lose. The device you are wearing is hooked into your upper and lower jaw. When the timer in the back goes off, your mouth will be permanently ripped open. Think of it like a reverse bear trap. Here, I'll show you." On videotape, a mannequin's head is destroyed by the device. There is only one key to open the device. It's in the stomach of your dead cellmate. Look around, Amanda. Know that I am not lying. You better hurry up. Live or die. Make your choice. When the TV turns off, Amanda panics again. However, this time the timer on the trap gets activated when she frees herself from the chair. When she sees the lifeless body of her cellmate, she initially hesitates to cut open the body. She then sees that her cellmate is not dead, but merely paralyzed. But when she realizes that her time is running out, she grabs the knife laying next to him and stabs him multiple times until he's dead. With only a few seconds left, Amanda searches his stomach for the key and eventually manages to get free only moments before the trap was activated, making her the first person who ever survived one of Jigsaw's deadly games. Horrified by these events, Amanda begins to cry when the mechanical puppet slowly approaches on a tricycle. Congratulations, you are still alive. Most people are so ungrateful to be alive, but not you, not anymore. Back at the station, when asked if she was indeed a heroin addict and questioned if maybe that's why she was targeted, Amanda replies that she believes Jigsaw had helped her and that her experience in the test had made her a better person in the end. Back in the bathroom, Adam starts feeling helpless as Dr. Gordon seems to have more knowledge of the situation and was remaining calm, so Adam started yelling at him and threatening him by picking up a piece of broken mirror from before when he notices that the glass is double-sided. He starts throwing debris at the mirror and smashes it, revealing a camera recording their every word and movement. Dr. Gordon tells Adam to calm down, and Adam questions how he can remain so calm as this guy has his family. Dr. Gordon recalls how he left the night before and ended up here. In a flashback, we see his daughter Diana wake up his wife Allison, saying that there was a man in her closet and wanted her dad to check for her. Dr. Gordon, busy with work, makes them wait momentarily until he finishes and then goes to tuck Diana in. As he leaves the room, Diana asks if he is leaving them. He reassures her that he loves them both and is not going anywhere. As he leaves the room, heading out of the house, he and Allison argue. He goes to kiss her, but she turns away. He leaves. Back in the bathroom, Dr. Gordon asks Adam if he would like to see pictures. He sees Diana, and when asked about his wife, Dr. Gordon says, "Look behind that picture, it's the only one with all of us in it." When Adam looks through the picture, he finds a photo of a terrified and bound Allison and Diana underneath, and the word "regards." On the back of the picture it says, "X marks the spot, sometimes you can see more with your eyes shut." Back at Dr. Gordon's house, you see the eye of a man and hear the whisper, "Good night, little girl." We hear Diana scream and Allison runs up the stairs to see a man covered in a blanket scoop up her daughter. Next, we see mother and daughter bound and gagged. The man who has them hostage is toying with them and then goes to the window. We then hear a voice from across the road, watching, acting if Dr. Gordon knows the man in the window was at home with his wife. In a flashback to the station, Detective Tapp cannot let go of the case and goes over the files and recordings constantly. As Singh suggests he take the night off, Tapp hears a fire alarm in the background of Amanda's video. The detectives pull the fire logs for the area and track down Jigsaw's lair. Tapp and Singh raid the killer's lair without a warrant or any reinforcements. They find, unknown to them, a model of the bathroom as well as another victim, Jeff Ridenour, in another trap, but also able to take the killer by surprise. While Tapp tried to subdue Jigsaw, Jigsaw was able to activate Jeff's trap. Singh attempts to save Jeff by shooting the drills, but the gunshots distract Tapp long enough for Jigsaw to escape, who slashes and permanently scars Tapp's throat in the process. While Tapp recovers from his deep knife wound, Singh pursues Jigsaw and is killed by multiple gunshots set on a tripwire. Back at the bathroom, Adam, rereading the back of the picture, suggests turning off the lights. Reluctantly, Dr. Gordon agrees, and suddenly a bright glowing X appears behind him. As Dr. Gordon breaks the wall, he discovers a small hollow space behind it with a small box inside. This box contains a lighter, 2 cigarettes, a cell phone, and a note on it that says, "Shh, Doctor," on the front. Dr. Gordon opens the note out of Adam's sight and reads, "The cigarettes are harmless, I promise. Smoking is only poisonous when it ends in bloodshed. Think about this. You don't need a gun to kill Adam." Dr. Gordon tries to make a call, and when he gets a fast busy signal, he remembers this happening before. Dr. Gordon then recalls his abduction. He was trying to use his phone after being trapped in a parking lot garage and was suddenly attacked by a pig-masked figure. Dr. Gordon then had an idea and turns off the lights and whispers to avoid whoever is watching them to hear their plan. They try to use a cigarette dipped in the corpse's blood, which is in fact cyanide, to stage Adam's death, but the plan fails when Adam is electrocuted through the ankle chain. Adam then recalls his own abduction. He was in his photo development room when the power went out, and after finding a puppet, he was attacked by a similar pig-masked figure. Moments later, Allison calls Dr. Gordon on the cell phone while being held at gunpoint by her abductor. Allison asks, "Is Adam there?" Don't believe Adam's lies. He knows you. He knew all about you before today. When Dr. Gordon confronts him with this warning, Adam finally admits that he had been paid to observe Dr. Gordon and shows him several photos of him, which were in the toilet tank along with the saws. Dr. Gordon insists that he did not cheat on his wife, and we see Dr. Gordon and Carla, one of his young interns, meeting in a hotel room, followed by Adam, where Dr. Gordon calls it off, just as the phone rings. Carla answers and tells Dr. Gordon it was for him, although she did not tell anyone they were there. The caller says, "I know what you're doing, Dr. Gordon," and hangs up. This leads him to go to the parking garage where he is then kidnapped. Dr. Gordon presses Adam to tell him who paid him to follow, and Adam claims he doesn't know, just some tall black guy with a scar around his neck. Dr. Gordon realizes from Adam's description that Detective Tapp was paying him, and while Adam claims there was no way that this guy was a cop, Dr. Gordon explains that Tapp had lost it after the death of his partner and became obsessed with Jigsaw, and that he was let go of his duties. As the time goes on, Adam suddenly realizes that one of the photos wasn't taken by him. It shows the abductor of Dr. Gordon's family standing by the window of their house. Upon seeing the photo, Dr. Gordon identifies him as Zepp Hindle, an orderly from the same hospital where he works. Just as he recognizes him, the clock strikes 6. As Dr. Gordon had failed his task to kill Adam, Zepp prepares to kill Diana and Allison. However, before doing so, Zepp forces Allison to call her husband to tell him of his failure. Allison, who had been working this whole time to loosen the ropes around her arms and legs, calls Dr. Gordon and says, "You fail," before grabbing the gun from Zepp's hand and rising to her feet, holding him at gunpoint. Still on the phone, she asks Dr. Gordon what's going on and where he is. Suddenly, Zepp tackles the gun away from her, and it goes off several times. The shots alert Tapp across the street, who rushes to the apartment and enables Allison and Diana to flee to the neighbors. Tapp follows Zepp out of the apartment and into the sewers. Back in the bathroom, Dr. Gordon, aware only of gunshots and screaming, collapses in despair, but then is himself zapped, as Adam previously was, and loses reach of the phone. In desperation, he saws off his foot. Dr. Gordon then crawls to the dead man's body and takes his gun and raises it to Adam, and shoots. At the same time, Tapp pursues Zepp through an underground tunnel network. During a brief struggle, Zepp kills him by shooting him in the chest and then enters the bathroom. Zepp enters the bathroom to kill Dr. Gordon, stating that it's the rules, but Adam, who suffered only a flesh wound, overpowers Zepp and bludgeons him to death with the toilet cover. Dr. Gordon then promises Adam to send back help for him, but that he has to go or he'll bleed out, and crawls out of the bathroom. Afterwards, Adam searches Zepp's body to find a key to his shackle, but instead finds another tape. He puts it in his cassette player, hits play, and hears, "Hello, Mr. Hindle," or as they call you around the hospital, Zepp. "I want you to make a choice. There's a slow-acting poison coursing through your system, which only I have the antidote for. Will you murder a mother and her child to save yourself? Listen carefully, if you will. There are rules." Just as Adam realizes the truth, the man in the middle of the room turns out to be alive and slowly stands up, thereby revealing himself to be John Kramer, the real Jigsaw killer, and one of Dr. Gordon's cancer patients. Due to his cancer, John tests his victims in order to make them appreciate their lives. He then tells Adam there's a key to his shackle in the bathtub. However, it was sucked down the drain when Adam initially woke up and pulled the plug. Adam attempts to shoot John by using Zepp's gun, but is given another electrical shock, which paralyzes him. John then turns off the light and leaves the room, just as Adam comes back to his senses. John closes the door with the words, "Game over," leaving him in the bathroom to die. So there you have it, Saw. What did you think about the movie? For those new to the Saw universe, what did you like about it? Anything that bothered you? If you did not know that there were more movies in the series, would you want a sequel for this movie? And for the Saw freaks out there like myself, look back and think, could this have still worked as a standalone movie? I think it would have made an amazing standalone movie, but yet I'm so happy that they ended up making more. As I make these videos available, we can talk more about how later movies created such deep and interesting characters and such an incredibly woven story full of twists and surprises. Now I want to play a game. A game I always tend to play after the latest Saw movie is released. And it goes back to the test subjects. Feel free to play along in chat, leave a comment below addressing some or all of the questions, and have your voice heard. The first question, do you think you could have survived any, all, or none of the traps featured in this movie? Why or why not? I think I could have survived Paul's trap, as he only had to slowly go through the barbed wire and get cut a little. He rushed with time running out, and cut himself too deeply too often to make it. I'm not sure if I could have survived Mark's game, only that he was covered in a flammable substance while walking on broken glass in the dark. I think I probably would have slid or made some sort of mistake where I did not make it, but I would try my hardest. As for Amanda, I would like to say I would have been able to beat her game too, but something not mentioned in the movie, or in later lore, was the look she gave her supposedly dead cellmate. It seemed like she knew him, or at least was familiar to him, but the connection never went any further than the look. In the lore, she was a heroin addict, so it could have been something like that. Maybe it's my imagination, and maybe I'm looking too far into it, but in this series, you never know. As for Dr. Gordon and Adam, I don't think there was much Adam could do since his key went down the drain, and more on that in a future episode. If I were Dr. Gordon and my family was depending on me killing Adam, I may have. I hate to sound crazy or callous, like I would go around killing people. I would not, for the record. But in this world of Saw characters, why would Dr. Gordon save Adam over his family? I myself would not have been able to saw off my own foot, that's a fact, so what else could he have done? Now that Adam's stuck there, what should he do? What would you do? Would you wait for Dr. Gordon to come back? Would you try to cut off your own foot and escape? More on that in a future episode. And what would you have done if you were Zepp? Would you have gone along with the plan, or gone to the police? I often wonder if there was more to it than just Zepp being poisoned, like maybe someone he loved was being held captive. Zepp could have just gone to the police, gotten the antidote, led them to Dr. Gordon's where the camera was, and saved the day. And lastly, if you were Allison, Dr. Gordon's wife, would you have shot Zepp if you had the chance? I would have. I don't have children of my own, but I know a mother would do anything to protect her daughter, and I would do anything to protect my family. So yes, in Saw World, I would have shot Zepp too. Keep in mind, this is all for fun. Another question I have, did all the test subjects deserve to be in their respective situations? I will leave this one open for you guys, as I think the lines get blurred as we learn more information throughout the movies. I don't think everyone deserved to be tested, but I do believe most people deserve a second chance and a shot at redemption, which is what these movies are about, appreciating your life. I will ask these questions at the end of every episode and see if your opinions change throughout. You might be surprised. Did all of them deserve to be chosen? Did all of them deserve a second chance? In this episode, I think everyone did deserve redemption, but understand why they were chosen. Would more information on each person sway you to change your mind? What was your favorite trap in the movie? Mine, of course, is the reverse bear trap, as it has gone on to become a staple of the franchise, and is usually the first thing people think of when they see Saw, besides Halloween. My favorite part of the movie, however, was definitely when John stood up at the end. For a first-time actor, Adam's face couldn't have been more perfect. I know my jaw was on the floor when I saw the body get up. Adam looked like his brain was about to melt, and if this was real life, that is exactly how I would have reacted. What was your favorite part? Did any of it make you close your eyes? And lastly, if you have any questions from this movie, and this installment only, Saw, the original, without spoilers, leave them below, and I'll try to address them in the next video. I will eventually do all 7, and possibly Jigsaw, so I will cover all the twists and turns as we go. I hope you enjoyed this, and that my questions made you think a little more about the films as being something other than just a gore fest. This is my favorite series due to the richly developed story and characters, and the belief in redemption and second chances. I hope you can look beyond the blood to enjoy these movies on a deeper level. Until next time, appreciate your life.